If you haven't subscribed already, ring that bell to get notified when new movies are posted. Chris Young here from Homekit Geek, and today we're looking at the Philips Hue Play Light Bar. So the Philips Hue Play Light Bar, like all the other Philips Hue products, is Zigbee based and therefore will require a Hue bridge. So make sure you have one of those before you try to pick these up. It is Zigbee based, which means you don't have to worry about any Wi-Fi connections. It's really solid from a connectivity standpoint. That's what I do like about Zigbee. And that bridge allows it to integrate into anything that the bridge is integrated into, which is Apple HomeKit, Google Assistant, Amazon Madam A, among other ecosystems. This is a 530 lumen light, so it is not spectacularly bright, but it's not supposed to be. It is supposed to be there for the, kind of to provide accent lighting. And really the main purpose of this, which we will look at in another video because it does deserve its own video, is the Hue Sync application, in that you can sync it up to your movies, your TV, your Netflix, and have your lights participate in your entertainment experience, which is, it's kind of cool. It is 2,000 to 6,500 kelvins, which means it is bright, the warmness scale, it's equivalent to bright daylight, 16 million colors. And another thing that is nice about this is it is power sensitive, meaning you can have one Philips Hue socket and you can plug up to 3 Philips Hue Play light bars into that socket. So you're consuming one plug in your wall, and you can have 3 of these lights, the Hue Play lights off of it, which is really nice. You can put left, right, center on your TV. Let's take a look. So one thing that has always been really good about Philips is they are very clear on the box, what's in the box and what it works with. You can see that it does say that you need the Philips Hue bridge. You've got all kind of examples of the colors that this thing's going to give you and the effects it's going to give you in your environment. You can see it's not spectacularly bright, like I said, but it's going to give you a really cool glowing effect in that 16 million color range. The box obviously does not say works with HomeKit or any other ecosystem on it, because the lights by themselves don't. It's the bridge that provides that function. So opening it up here, you can see they've got that out-of-box experience, tells you exactly what to do on the inside of the box. And of course, because I have this in Canada, I've got this both in English et en français aussi, right? So we've got multilingual support. I'm guessing if you buy these in other jurisdictions, other countries, you're going to see language support on the box equivalent to that country. So we will fast forward through the unboxing here and get over to actually what's in here. So of course there are the instructions, right? And that's going to tell you exactly what you can do with it and kind of how to mount it. So there are multiple different options here. You can mount it beside the TV, you can mount it horizontally, you can mount it vertically, right? You've got all of those options. And they do provide the mounting little brackets, which is nice. So as you can see here, the light itself has a little screw on the back of it and on the bottom of it. And essentially all you're going to do is just take the provided screws, and you're going to then be able to mount that either horizontally or vertically. You probably don't want these pointing straight at you. You probably want to point it back at the wall, because kind of the point of this is to diffuse the light. Right? Of course, you've got the one on the bottom here as well. That cable, I question that the cable design, and it seems they may have wanted to have a little slot there, but that's not what they did. So again, you've got your horizontal. You can put it on in the middle and then screw that in. And again, the screws are provided with the package, right? Which is nice. So I've gone ahead and plugged these things in, and I'm just going to show you exactly how, with the provided Allen key and the screw here, that these things are going to work out. You're going to be able to mount these, because I am going to connect them to Apple HomeKit and the Hue bridge and the whole bit, and show you guys that as well. So essentially, you're just going to take that little screw there, you're going to line that up, and you are going to then use that provided Allen key and just turn that up, tighten it up, and it's going to stay in place. So once you've done that, you can see you would just put that on the back of the TV, or you can mount it straight up behind the TV. Again, I don't think I would want to see the light if I'm watching TV right at my eyes. You're going to miss, you're not going to be able to see the color of the TV, right? So we'll get the other one done here as well. And now that we've got them both set up here, we're going to go over to the Philips Hue app and add them in so that we can start controlling them. So I'm assuming most of you guys already know this, but for those of you who don't, if this is your first time, you may think that, like most other HomeKit accessories, you're going to want to add that in using the Apple Home app. You actually can't do that here because you've got to add it to the bridge before it gets exposed into the Apple Home app. So we're going to go over here and do that now, and it's basically you've plugged the lights in, you've turned them on, they're in a default state. We just hit that add button, and it's going to go and search for those lights, and there is Hue Play number 1. And we're going to wait a couple seconds, and Hue Play number 2 should come up here as well, easy as that. So although you would be tempted to believe that you can drag these down, that's not actually the way to put it in a room. You're going to have to come back one step, go into the room setup. We will go down. Yes, there's a mismatch. Okay, yeah, let's update that. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. There's a new room added. Hey, isn't that cool? So we'll import that. Again, so we're going to go into the living room here, tap on living room, and we're going to say, okay, what lights are actually in the living room, and select the checkboxes for the Hue Play 1 and the Hue Play 2. Saving could take a while. Please keep the app open until saving it is complete. So basically what you're doing right now is you are, the app is saving that out to the bridge and then also saving that out to the Philips Hue cloud. So it's really as easy as that. Now we're going to be able to go in here into the to the living room if we want. We can modify the colors, all that kind of stuff. But let's go over and look at the Apple HomeKit because that's what this particular video is about, and we will get into the Philips Hue Entertainment in an upcoming video. So look for that soon. So we're going to go in here in the Apple Home app, and we're going to go over to Rooms, and we're going to find our new Play lights because they're not in the living room. And why is that? Well, that's because currently the integration isn't smart enough to put it where it should be. So we're going to have to go find wherever you put the Philips Hue bridge, that's where these new lights will automatically be placed as far as Apple HomeKit. So we're going to go into where I've got the kids' office here. I've got a little office for my kids' homework place upstairs. That's where my bridge lives. And we're going to change that, put that in the living room. Of course, we're going to be able to turn the lights on, turn the lights off. We can modify the color if we want as well. Let's go into the Hue, the second one, and they're both called Hue Play. So that's not very useful to me right now. I want to call them 1 and 2 until I get them actually installed, in which case I will hopefully come back and call them left or right, right? Because, of course, if you want to control these things, you got to know which ones they are. So now that we've got them in the living room, let's flip over to the living room, make sure that we've verified our work. Hue Play, there we go. So you can see both lights are there in the living room where they should be. So the last thing we're going to do is go and look at the installation. So here we are. You can see this is the back of my TV here, and I'm going to mount them directly on the back of the TV. That's the choice I'm making. And so essentially, you're just going to want to look at where it's going to go, so you're going to get a nice effect on the back of your TV, and this is totally up to you. So one thing to be aware of, you do want to clean the back of your TV first, make sure there's no dust on there. And they actually come with the double-sided tape, the 3M tape, and you can see here that these are now on the back of my TV. So now we're looking at it from the front of the TV, and this is during the light time. So there's a glow on the left and the right. We're also getting the Philips Hue light strip, which is actually kind of hidden there in the corner a little bit. So you can see these are actually pretty bright behind the TV, and that's the effect that we're eventually going to get. So it's a nice ambiance. If you're just sitting there having, guests over, kind of this nice glow, different glows. And that really brings us to the end. It's a light. It's a colored light. It's not phenomenally bright. It's got, I think it's got a pretty good color saturation. It's bright enough that it's going to set an ambiance. It's not like some of the Philips Hue, the Bloom, which I find them to be really dull. No, it's a good product, and I like the color saturation. I like the fact that I can get 3 lights out of a single plug. That's actually very useful. The more colored lights you start to have starts to be a problem when you're starting to look for power bars, right? So the fact that I can kind of triple up on this thing, or if I want to get 6 lights, I can kind of place them around. Where I think it's probably overpriced if you're just looking for colored lights. I think for the 2 of these, It's about $129 for the starter pack, and then you can add on from there. So again, they're not the cheapest lights, but works with Hue Sync, which, as I said, we're going to look up. I think that starts to add some value and might justify it. But again, I will let you guys make that decision when I post the upcoming video. Other than that, what do you think? Would you look at these just as ambiance lights? Would you put them around your house? Notwithstanding the Philips Hue Sync, do you find them overpriced? What do you think? I'd love to know in the comments below. Definitely drop me a line and I will respond as quickly as I can. Likes are always appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell if you want to get notified. There are new videos posted every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you want to learn how to make your house just a little bit smarter using Apple HomeKit, please do me a favor. Check out the coupon code in the video link below.